Okay. So all right. So today I'll be starting a function, and I'll start with a very basic function, and then slowly I will keep on adding the different concepts of function. So in JavaScript, you have like 5 to 6 different type of uh, uh, use case of function. All right. So it's very important that you understand all the use case, and then slowly I will basically navigate you towards those all the use cases. All right. So let me just create a function file called function.js. Right? Okay. So how do you define a normal function in any programming language? Most of the programming language. Okay, right?
Task, specific task.
No, one sec, one sec. So yeah, so how do you define a function in general? The role of the function is to basically do a one task. Okay, but how do you define in general? You write function keyword, right?
Function name,
Function name, right? We write a function name, and then
curly braces.
no, not curly braces. We write a
Opening,
parenthesis,
closing bracket.
okay, and then curly, right? Okay. Uh, one second. Right. So this is how you define a function in also in JavaScript. Okay. So if I write something here, let's see if I do console and then console write function. Let's say prints function. Okay. Okay. So how do I run this?
All.
Simple function call, right? I'll just call this function and I'll do here node and the file name. It will just run the function here, right? Okay. Is it clear? It's a very straightforward, right? Okay. Now let's go to the next one. So in JavaScript, functions behave in specifically in ES5, function behaves exactly like the variables behavior. Okay. So what are the behaviors of the variables? If we list down, what were the behaviors?
Act like a container.
Okay, container.
Hosted on top, a declaration is hosted.
Okay, then hosted, then
Initialization.
okay. It's basically not initialization, something else. Anything else? Couple of more.
Scope.
Scope, yes. Okay, so that is basically local and global. Okay. And object. Everything in JavaScript is in is an object. So function in JavaScript also acts as sometimes as an object. I will show you later. Right. There is one more which I want, which is there. ES5 variables, can I overwrite it?
Yes.
Okay, right. So override. All right. So that means if I write the same name again here, okay, and okay, then what should? So what do you think? What should be the output? Error or something else? It will print something.
It will print the first function only.
Okay. Anyone else?
It will print the first, print fn.
Okay.
So it will override, I think so.
So basically, it will print the second function. All right. Just like you do variable in JavaScript variables, right? You do var a equals to 10. All right. And then you do var a equals to array. So what will be the value of a?
Array.
Array, right? Because it is later declared, right? And in JavaScript, all the later execution basically overrides the original one, old one. All right. Same happens with the function as well. So whenever you declare a function in JavaScript, in ES5 specifically, if you redeclare the same function, it overrides it. Okay. So that is a kind of you can say that as a drawback of JavaScript ES5, right? Ideally, you shouldn't be doing anything which basically overrides the function. All right. Okay. So this is the one property which you have to basically understand that you can override the same function name. Normally in object-oriented programming, we override the method, right? We create a parent or parent class, and then we create a child class or object, and then we override the child method, right, from parent method. But in JavaScript also, there is no need for that, because in JavaScript everything is an object. Yeah, because function is also acting as an object, so you can directly override the existing definition. Yeah. All right.
So,
Yeah.
excuse me, sir, if we pass a parameter in one function and another is a blank, then what will be happen?
I'm coming to that. I will come to that. All right. I will come to that.
Okay.
All right. What is the second problem? So these two is covered. All right. So object and override. Next one is hoisting. All right. So what is the hoisting? What is the hoisting?
Initialization at start.
Declaration or initialization?
Declaration.
Declaration, right? So
Right.
hoisting is basically hoisting basically whenever declare a variable, it get hoisted at the top of the execution or top of the functional scope. Okay. So in JavaScript, function acts exactly same, right? So when you can call the function before you can define a function. All right. So if I copy this and paste here, okay, then tell me what should be my output, function or function 2?
Function 2.
Function 2.
Yeah, it will exactly work as same. So if I run this, it will be function 2. So when I run this application, what happens? Basically, JavaScript will take this function and put at the top of this. All right. So if first it defines this function, and then again it defines a function with the same name. Then here two things happened. So first it got hoisted. Second, it override the existing function. Right. Overrode the existing function. So this way, same function can be used. Function can be called before it is being declared, right? So like this, something like this. I can write function somewhere here also, and I can call at the top. Okay. So this is not a kind of drawback, but we should always avoid this in whenever writing something. All right. So before calling any function, you should always have a definition for this, right? Because JavaScript gives the flexibility of this. So what we do, right? And we cannot depend on developers, to just tell them that you should be defining a function, right? And developers assume that the function will be there and I'll just call it. So, to avoid that, what we do here, we will use the concept of logical operators, right? So what we do here, we use function, all right? Okay. Uh, uh, Everything in JavaScript is an object, right? An object has a truthy value, right? Okay. So if I do function, all right, and double exclamation, what will be the value?
True.
True value, true.
True, right? Because I'm changing into a boolean, all right? So if I do this, all right, so what will be the execution here?
True.
True.
So in JavaScript, wherever we do a logical operations, when left side is, if I using AND operations, left side is true, right side will get executed. So if this is true, okay, because this is the function container, and container holds something, right? Even if it is a uh, uh, empty, right? So it is holding a kind of a function. So it becomes true. So it basically calls this function. So this way, a developer can basically safeguard that if there is no function name defined anywhere here, okay, if they can still, let's say if I do something like this, where, okay, all right, if I do something like this, right, so it will still protect the developer and the code so that it will not run this function. In this case, if I run this, nothing will happen. Okay, but okay, because what is the null? What is the value? Logical value of null?
Blank.
False.
False, right? So false. So whenever I use a false and there is an AND operation, what is the result? It will stop right there, right? It will stop right here. It will not go to this function, and this function will not get called. Right? The moment I change this to something else, let's say function, not, right? Now this will get called. I can just do console.log hello. All right, it printed the hello. All right, I can also basically I can remove this also, but that gives us a kind of a safety that our application uh, 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 won't crash, because when you work on a very big team where you have like a 10-20 developers, all right, you cannot depend on developers, just to basically assume that they should will working, right? So I should basically safeguard your code that if you're calling a function, it should have it should be defined. Okay? And this is how we do it. So there is one more check which we add in function. just like what is the type of when we do a type of, if I do this node, when we do a type of this, so what is the output it shows? It will give an object, okay? But in case of when I do function, uh, so in case of function, it basically gives me a function, right? So to safeguard the code, what we do, we add another AND operation in between the code, and we say type of, let's say type of this. Okay. All right. So what does triple equal do?
It checks the type and value both.
Okay. So basically, it first checks the type and then value. All right. If type is not equal, then it will not check the value. All right. So right now, what will happen? First, it will check whether whether this name is defined or not. It is defined. All right. Then it does type of name is equal to function or not. If it is function, then it will go and call this. Okay. So if I run this now, okay, I run this, it will basically print hello. Okay, the moment I change this, to var, okay, let's say 10. Okay, so what is the boolean value of 10?
True.
A.
True, right? Because if I do double exclamation, this will be true, right? So true, and so this will try to execute this. And what will be the value of this?
It is a function, but we define a variable.
No, so what will be the value of this type of function?
False, false.
No, what will be the output of this type of
Function.
FN name?
Function.
Number.
Number, yes, correct, number, right? It will be a number, right? So number is equal to function, no, right?
No.
Right, so here the function becomes false. So true and false, what is the output? Is always false, right? So it is false, that means it will not run this function. That means it is again safeguarded the code. Okay? It gives a kind of a safety net for the function. Right? So this way, same variable name I can write. Let's say I've wrote a function name with this, and again I wrote a function, and I hope this works. If I run this, I have never tried this. Let me just check this. Okay. Whether this overrides the function or not. I hope it seems it didn't. Okay, so it did not. So basically, variable is taking a precedence here. All right. Just move this. Yeah. All right. So now it is printing 10, right? Because I'm calling now. What is the type of FN name?
Function.
Because it is a function, so it will basically print function equals to function is true. True and true is true, right? When it is true, then it will execute the last one. The most right one, right side whatever value it is, whether it is a function or variable or it is a console. All right. So this way basically we safeguard whenever we call a function. All right. So function in ES5, function get hoisted. Function can be overridden. All right. Function can also acts as a kind of a container or an object. Right. You can basically use, and a function also have a local and global scope. All right. So let me just show you this. So if I let's say if I do function dot name, right, and I can do function dot hello. Sorry. All right. So if I do console function name and function name, okay, and if I print this, it will be printing a function as well as the key. Okay. So how can we add a key to any function? When do we use dot?
Object.
Everything is object.
Yeah, so object, right? So the moment I remember the very early day of week when I was starting the JavaScript, I said whenever we add a dot in front of any variable in JavaScript or any value in JavaScript, it becomes converts into an object. Okay, on the fly. So the context of this will be an object. But if I do this again, run this. All right, say this. It printed 10 from here, then basically printed FN name here, and then this value is holding this function as well as this key also. Okay? It is a function also, and it is an object also. I can add one more key. Okay? I can keep on running this, right? So you will see this. If I want to read the specific keys, I will just say hello. It will basically print the word. All right. So function also has a special keyword called name. Let me see if that works. Okay, it is a function name. So because our function name has it is defined using fname. If I do, let's change this to 2. No, it won't work. Okay. This is a basically a special key which is assigned to a function. All right. So that this also acts as an object. All right. So same way, function also acts as an object. Whenever you basically want to assign any additional key to an function, you can assign it to a function. All right. But still, if I do this type of this, I will still get a type of function. Here it is printed a function. Right? But I can play around. The moment I add dot, okay, here it will become an object on the fly. Okay. The moment I add dot here, again it will become an object on the fly. Okay. So this is how JavaScript basically is a kind of a very flexible language, right? And it gives you the so much flexibility that you can do anything you want. Okay. So that is a kind of a drawback as well as a power. Okay. And both drawback and power basically evolved into a very powerful language. Right. So next one is basically I want to show you how the functional and the global, local and the global scope. Right. So let's see if I have a function called this function, and I just say this outside call, right? Okay, and then I'll just do a outside call. Print this. Outside. All right. So if I run this, I get the output as a from outside. All right, I'll just comment this out. So, okay, yeah. All right, so I basically got this output, and let me just do this again. Change this, and I can call this function from inside. Okay, and I can completely print this. So it also call the function. All right. Okay. So basically, I'm from this function, I'm calling another function which is outside of the function. All right. Let me just do this. What do you think? Output will it print? Will it throw error?
Output print version from inside.
Okay, so that is evident, right? So I can see from inside. So what really happened here? Again, take entire concept from JavaScript ES5 variable. Let's list down one by one. So the first thing which happened was when I run this function, what really happened?
Outside function got called.
Called, right? Okay, outside function got executed. Then what happened? It printed the value at line number 29. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Before this function was interpreted, right? And it saw there is another function inside. Okay. So it hoisted the function. Okay. So where will it hoist?
Within outside function.
At the outside function level.
Where?
console.log.
So will it hoist here and override this one?
Yes, it'll override.
Okay. Or will it hoist here and over and keep the scope here only?
Inside the outside call.
Inside now inside.
Okay. So basically, what really happens here? So whenever we write a function, which is so function has a functional scope, right? So anything which you do inside function remains inside function. All right. So again, just like a var keyword in JavaScript or ES5 variables has a functional scope. That means if you declare a variable inside a function, its scope remains inside the function. All right. If you declare the same variable which is already there in outside and inside a function, it will basically override the outside variable, right? Same happens with the function as well. So when you declare this, so first thing happens, first basically it will override the existing function current in the current scope in outside function block on hoisted, because function also get hoisted. All right, and that is why this function name is getting called. So when I run this, it is getting called. All right. So if I do this now here, now tell me what will be the output.
From outside and 10.
From inside,
From
from
inside,
outside,
from outside.
and 10.
Right, so it is very straightforward, right? So from outside, from inside, and 10, right? So this called this function was called, then it printed this, then this function was called. This function definition, it will look for in a local scope first. This is a local scope, right? This from here to here, okay? And that function is already defined here, so it will use that. So that is why it printed this. All right, and then when this function call was over, then another same function was called. Now it will look for its current functional scope, which is a kind of a global scope for uh, uh, the current application, right? So it will find this. So it will print the value 10. I hope this is clear now. It is exactly same as variable.
Yes, sir.
Exactly same as variable. No difference. All right. Any doubt? Okay. Hmm. Now tell me what will happen. Making it a little bit complicated. Now tell me what will happen.
Recursive.
Basically, it's a kind of a recursive, right? So which function will it call?
It will call fn name itself.
Inside.
Yes, so this will call
fn
this
name.
function only. I will not run it because it will crash. Okay. So basically, this function, it will look for the function within this scope. Okay. And if it did not find, so it will go to its nearest, its
It
immediate
will
parent, right?
it will
Immediate
keep
parent.
calling. Yeah, it will keep calling until it
Yeah.
doesn't get its base condition or ending condition.
Yeah, so it will go to its parent. So parent mein, this function is already defined. This function is called, again it will find it. So it will keep on basically calling it and will go into recursive mode. All right. So if I do this, now tell me.
From from
20 and if
outside,
from outside, from outside.
from inside, and 20.
Right. So it will basically print from outside, from inside, 20 and 10, right?
20. Yeah, 20.
Yeah. So what really happened, because this function now saw, so there is a definition inside the function. All right. It will not go to the parent. Right. If I remove this, then this become recursive. All right. This is how the scope also works in a applies to the function. All right. Let's say if I want to okay, so now let me just add another one. Just comment this out. Okay, let's call it as a main. And I will just do call main. And, okay. And I'll just call this function as a now tell me. Let's copy this. Now tell me. What will be the output?
From outside.
From outside, from inside.
From
20.
outside and 20 only.
Why?
From outside.
From outside 20, from inside 20.
Okay, let me run this. It will be from outside and 20 only. Because what is the reason?
Because main is called here and the fun name is called there within the main function.
Only main is called, so whatever will be happen inside the main will happen.
Yeah. But I defined the output function by did not call it. Right? So if I call it, okay, if I call here, all right, now tell me the output. Yeah.
From outside 20. From inside 200.
Correct. So basically output will be the exact same. From outside 20, from inside 200. Alright. So execution works like this. I call the main, it will print this, then it will go to this function name. So this function name, it will look for in the current scope, current functional scope. It is not there. Alright. In the current functional scope, not there, because function cannot go to a child's functional scope, right? It can go to the parent's functional scope. So inside a parent, there is a function name defined, but it cannot access that. Alright. So it will go up to its parent. So main ka parent is this, right? And here the function is defined. So that is why it prints from outside and 20, and then output is called, the output function is called, and it will basically print from inside and this function name. Now, in the output function, there is a fn name is defined here. Alright. So it will use that, and that is why it printed 200. I hope this is clear now.
So can you repeat it, please?
Okay, all right. Okay. So when I call a main function, all right. So main function, it defines the output function, all right, and then it prints this from output. So it prints the from output. All right. Now it basically goes to the next line and say, okay, fn name, and it is calling the function, and it will look for in this in current scope. Right. Okay. The function also has a local and global scope. So it will look in the current functional scope. There is no fn name defined in the functional scope. All right. So this output has a different functional scope. It is a kind of its own child scope. So this function will not have access to the function inside this. Okay. So this function basically will go to its nearest parent scope. So here the nearest parent scope is a global scope, okay, because only one function is defined. Right. So nearest parent scope where the function is defined already. So it will print from outside. Then this function is called. This function means this is called. So it prints at 20 here. Right. Now the output is called. Okay, so output function, it will look in the current scope. So current scope mein there is a function defined here. Right? It will call this function and it will print from inside here. And then there is again another with the same name. There's a function called with the same name. And it will again look for this in the current scope. This is the output function scope, right? And that function is already defined here. So it will basically use this function. It will override this function and it will use this function. And that is why it is basically printed 200. I hope this is clear now.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
The moment I remove this, what will happen?
Recursion.
It will be good like parent scope, nearest parent scope 20.
20, right? So it will basically from outside 20, from inside 20, right? Okay. Because that there is no function definition neither in this function nor in main. So it will go to the main's parent. Okay. So this function's parent function, it will go to there and there it will find the function. There it found the function, right? The moment I add this function here, okay. Okay. Now tell me output.
From inside 200, from outside again 200,
From outside 200, from inside 20.
Anyone else? When I call this
From
function,
outside, then
100.
200
mhm.
output, then from inside, then again 200.
Correct. Right. So this is the output, right? So why is this output? You can explain. Yeah.
First, it will search in its local scope.
Yeah. Correct.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Now it finds its local, finds its name of the function in the local scope.
Yeah.
So
Correct.
in 200. If
Yeah,
it
correct.
doesn't
So
find
basically,
local, so it will print the global code.
yeah, correct, right? So in case of this function name, it will first look into the local scope, right? So it is already there here. It will get hoisted at the top when the function, when this application is code is run, right? All right. So when this output function is called, it will look for the function name within this scope first. It did not find it. Then it went to its parent scope, okay? And there this function is already defined, and that is why it printed 200 and 200, right? From inside 200, from outside 200, and from inside 200. I hope this is clear.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let me make a little bit more complicated. Okay. So how do I call outside function from inside? I mean, output function from outside. Let's make it as a better name as a inner function. Inner function. Yeah. How do I call it from outside?
main dot inner function.
All right, so we cannot call it because the scope of this function is only limited to this function only. Okay? So in JavaScript, whenever you define a function inside function, the scope of the function is only limited to that function. So that is also referred as a kind of a closure. It's exactly not a closure, but I will cover closure later. So basically life cycle of this function is only limited to this main function. All right, I can use this inner function inside anywhere in this main function, anywhere. I can use anywhere here. but I cannot use outside. There is no way I can access that function, right? So that basically scope this function inside this main variable. If I do this, again it will become recursive because if this is calling this function only. If I run this, it basically printed the output. Alright, and I will show you later how to basically access inside function from outside. Alright, so let's do a practice with a variable primitive and non-primitive here. Alright, so I will just use. Let me just comment this out first. Let's say I will call a variable called let's say sport. I'll just say chess. Okay, and I'll just say I'll just write console print sport function. Alright, I'll just print console log. Alright, I will basically I will call it. So it will print sport name, right? So this is very straightforward, right? So what I'm really here doing here, basically, I'm basically directly accessing a global variable. Okay. So if I do this, now tell me.
Cricket.
Sport, cricket.
Sorry, come again.
Chess, then cricket.
It will first print the chess and then cricket,
Yes,
right?
then cricket.
Yes. Okay. If I do this,
Cricket.
it will still print the chess and cricket, right? Because console is printed first and then function is called.
Oh yeah.
Okay, the moment I cut this and paste here, okay, now the output will be
Cricket.
it will be triggered in cricket. Okay, the moment I add var keyword here, it will basically localize the variable cricket and chess.
Yes.
We already did last time, right? Did this last time. Alright. So how do we basically? So this is the one way basically we reuse the variable. But sometimes what really happened, we want to basically kind of use the global variable. So instead of directly referencing the variable, like this, okay, okay, we basically pass as a parameter. This is the we do almost in all language, right? So we basically pass as a parameter. So I basically pass sports as a parameter here, okay, and it will print now the board. It will print the chess and chess. Okay. This is the so what is the type of this
String.
strings are
Primitive.
Falsy value.
primitive, right? All right. Some primitives are
Truth value.
Password value.
False.
passed by value, right?
Right.
All right. So when I do this, right? So whenever I pass a sports into this function, okay, so it will basically pass, or I can just say copy. Okay, it will basically send a copy of sports to this function. Okay. All right. So internally, what it's doing basically, it will basically saying, let's say if a name is param, okay, it's basically saying sports equals to param. It is passing a copy of the value chess, right? It is not passing the reference. If I run this, it will still print me the same value. Okay, I passed the variable name and it is received here, and JavaScript basically internally does this thing, so you don't have to write anything. So I don't have to write the var keyword. So JavaScript internally defines the variable and assigns it to the value, assign the value. Right? If I run this, it will still print the value. Okay. If I do this, sports equals to cricket. Okay. If I run this, what will be the value?
cricket, chess.
Cricket and
It will be
chess.
cricket and chess, right? So this sports variable is now local to this function. The moment it receives in parentheses, it becomes local, right? So indirectly, JavaScript is basically doing where sports, all right, equals to whatever the parameter it is received from here. Okay, don't get confused with the name. I can use any name also. Let's say I can name you. I can use ABC also here. Okay, I can use ABC. I can use ABC. Okay. I will still get the same output. Okay, cricket. So JavaScript internally basically will define ABC equals to whatever value you passed. So this var keyword is not declared when you're using variable in the parameter. All right, and this becomes a localized variable. I keep on changing this value, it will not affect the global value. I hope this is clear.
Yes.
Okay, so I passed a global variable. I can basically just again keep on adding. Let's say I add kabaddi. Okay. And say kabaddi equals to, okay. And now what will be the output?
Cricket, cricket.
The output will be cricket, cricket, and chess and kabaddi. All right. And if I don't write this now,
Chess, kabaddi, chess, kabaddi.
right? It will be chess kabaddi, right? So I'm passing the value as a copy, okay? And it basically receiving here as a copy of the value, and I can change that value also. I can do also something like this, ABC plus ABC. Now tell me the output. Concat hoga, right? So it will be chess, chess, kabaddi, kabaddi, and chess, kabaddi. All right. So this is very, the primitives are very straightforward here. All right. Let's complicate this more. Okay. Let me just add few more functions here. Add this function. All right. But tell me, will it run?
Chess, kabaddi, kabaddi, and chess, kabaddi.
Okay. So basically outside first it will print this. So it will print chess, and then it will run demand chess. Okay. Chess, demand chess, then kabaddi, demand kabaddi, and then outside of these two functions. All right. Okay. So how do I change this? So right now this is again referencing a global variable, right? Because that variable is not declared within this function. So how do I again change this? What small step that I have to do so that it becomes a local variable again, and I can use that variable.
Para-
ABC. Alright. So if I do ABC equals to nothing. So, alright. And if I print the value, if I print the value, Now tell me the value. Let me just add only one. Now tell me the value. What will be the value at line number 84? Okay, let's go by one. Right. So this
Sir.
sorry.
Nothing. Line number 84. Nothing.
So it will be basically nothing, right? So I will call this function. This function is called when with the parameter sports, and sports is a string, which is a primitive. Right? Primitive is basically means it will be passed by value, right? So basically a copy is passed here. Okay. Internally JavaScript will define something like this. So now this will print sports. This will print sports.
Chess.
Chess, right? Okay, chess. Then there is a demand function called, right? And the function is called. Now again there is a console log. It says demand ABC. So this will again print chess, right? And here it is being updated, right? Now the console is called here ABC. So here
hosting will take place, sir.
Right? So it will print chess.
Sir, no, hosting will take place. Hosting will take place.
Yeah, hosting will take place, but will it print chess?
No, sir, nothing it will print.
This keyword, right?
Yes.
So basically, what will happen? Why did to basically print will print nothing? This keyword. Let me just rename it. No demand. So better way to So why will it print no demand?
ABC is redeclared over there.
Because in this function there is
here you haven't written where, so it will be hoisting. So it will where ABC would be above function demand. So now this would be now this ABC will look for the value in its local in print sport only in that function.
Yeah,
so
it's in its parents function.
Yes,
right?
in parent function.
So because there is no where keyword used here.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
and second, there is no parameter here.
Yes.
ABC.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Because there is no parameter here, it will basically just again say, oh, there is no variable defined. Let me go back to my parent. And parent there is a ABC defined here. Okay. And whenever there is a variable in parameters, in basically JavaScript indirectly add where keyword to that. Okay. So that becomes localized to this function. Yes. All right. And that is why here it will print chess. And the moment I add here, it will basically update this variable. All right. And that is why it will print here. Till here it will print chess, and here it will print no demand. Run this, you will see sports chess. So sports chess. Then it is a demand chess. Then we updated this, and then this value is printed. Okay, ABC is no demand. But see this, the last value sports, which was passed as a parameter, it is still printed chess. All right?
Yes, sir.
Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Anyone else having any doubt? Any doubt? Okay. All right. So what small change that I have to do so that it does not override its parents variable? What is that one small change that I have to do?
Add a let keyword in front of ABC.
No, that is not the solution. Then it will become localized, so it will not print anything then. And it will give an error because it'll say you're trying to access ABC before it is being initialized. If I do this, it will throw an error. Error, you cannot reuse ABC before initialization. So this is not the solution.
Try adding where keyword.
Okay. So if I use where, Okay, then it will basically print demand undefined. Again, this is not a solution there. I want to
In
use
demand
the
parameter.
right. I'm sorry. Right. So basically, I have to pass as a parameter. So ABC, I'm passing into the demand function. So I will pass it as a demand function. So internally, JavaScript will do var ABC, okay, and whatever the value of ABC, it will assign to the ABC. All right, because in JavaScript, uh, 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 local variables overrides the global variable, right? So now, if I do this, if I run this, I will get exact output, what I'm expecting. So sports chess, here it is printing sports chess, and there's a demand function called, so here it is again a chess. Now, because this is a parameter into the function, this is a local variable now. Okay. So indirectly, it is nothing but like a this, where ABC, okay, and let's say P is written. Param is basically received as a parameter. So I think something like this. Hmm. So instead of writing this one more line, JavaScript which gives you the flexibility. You just do it on the fly. You don't have to write this. Hmm. And this way, this entire ABC here becomes localized to this demand function. All right. Now, if I see the value, the output of the value, it will still be chess, and outside it still be chess. Is that clear? So we can localize global variable by using parameter. ठीक है? Any doubt? Anyone has any question या कुछ explain करना है मुझे फिर से?
सर एक बार फिर से explain करिए.
Okay. So there is a print function, all right? Okay. And print function I'm passing a parameter. One parameter which is a string.
Which is a string.
Primitive. It is a primitive and it is a copy by value. Primitive is that means copy by value. That means
Copy
this sports. What is the value of sports?
Yes.
Chess, right? So the ABC parameter will receive chess. Okay, right? So let's call it this as a ABC. And here, let me just do this. Var sports equals to ABC. All right. So now what will be the value of sports here?
Yes.
Chess, right? Because ABC is holding the value chess, right? So I'm declaring another variable here, which is now because I've used var keyword of sports here. So this sports is a localized to this function. Correct? Right? So this keyword is this sports is localized to this function. Correct me if I'm wrong. Right? Okay.
Right,
so
right.
so JavaScript says so you don't have to write a same line again because this looks like a redundant code, right? Repeated code. JavaScript says, all right, what you can do something like this, all right, and I will basically assign you something like this. Okay, behind the scene it is doing something like this. So it says you don't write a var keyword whenever there is a parameter passed. Okay? In other programming language, you pass a data type in the parameter, right? Int hoga, ya boolean hoga, ya float hoga, right? But in JavaScript, we don't pass any parameter. Don't pass any type or declaration, right? So this basically, when you do this, JavaScript internally will do a sports, where sports equal to chess. So now this sports is localized to this function. And if I try to change the value of sports here, okay, it will only have a scope till this function. Okay. So print function as a sports, this will print a sports here. Now demand function is passing a sports. So this sports is this parameter. Okay. Because it will look for the local variable first. So this is the local variable. And it received another variable called ABC. And that ABC prints the ABC in the localized environment. Then here I'm basically again updating the value. Now which value this will update?
All the values inside the function
Print function,
related to
right?
sport.
Yeah. So it will basically only update the value which is inside a it will only update the value which is inside a print function, and it will not impact another uh, the value which is outside the function. If I run this, oh, something wrong. There is a reference error. Where did I miss? What was the error? So ABC is not defined. Sports ABC line number 78. Oh, I did not save the file. Oh, my God. So now it printed the value. A sport chess. So sport chess. Yeah, rejoin again. Yes. This is the problem with I guess your speaker, not with my system. Right. So this is here the value is a chess, and then the sports is called here. The demand function is called with the parameter. The demand again will be chess. Now the variable is updated because this variable is localized to this function because it is passed as a parameter. It will not impact its parent variable. Okay. But here I'm changing this parent variable, current variable, localized variable of print sports. And if I print the value sports here, it will print the football and the function execution ends. And here I print this again, I will see chess. So see this sports, chess, demand chess, football and chess. So if I basically just cut and paste here, okay, what will be the output? So this function is called, and internally uh, this function is calling this function, okay, with a localized parameter. So what will be the output?
Says no demand football.
Right, so it will basically print. Okay, so let me just add the numbers so it is readable. Run this. It print sports, chess, no demand, football, and chess again. I hope you are getting this.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Anyone else having any doubt?
No, sir.
What about others?
No, sir. No, sir.
Uh, Now tell me, what will be the output? What will be the output?
It's 20. No demand football and 20.
20. No demand football at 20. Okay, clear है?
Yes. Sir. So, true, no demand. Then football and food.
True. No demand football and true.
True or true.
Right? Okay. So straightforward है. This is for primitive types. Right? Okay. So I'm just now using non-primitive. Not ugly.
Will print the same output, that is.
Yeah. So it will basically print the same output. Empty array and empty array. Exact value. Right? So, so primitives are very straightforward. Whenever you pass a variable to a parameter, it copies the value. And if I try to change the value here, I change it the value. Basically, I overrode the value. It localized. It is a localized value. So the changes only remains still the current function in the functional scope. It does not affect. It's basically my main value. Right? Okay. So now let me just show you how non-primitive works. Okay. So yesterday we did it, right? We copied one variable into another variable. Open. Not this one. The same type. Yeah. So basically, we used non-primitive, right? There was one variable, one array, and I did a equals to another value, right? And the position was copied to this. And the same location was used here. So same way, whenever I use a non-primitive function, it passes a reference, just like variable. It again and function also it passes a reference. So let me just show you that. So if I use var and let's say I use mart. Mart may I have items. Let's say grocery. Open. Okay. Now this is the
non-primitive.
Object.
Yeah. Object then
Reference by value. Reference.
copy by reference. Right? Okay. So if I do this, mart2 equals to mart. Okay. All right. So if I do this console, so this is from yesterday. If I do this mart2, what will be the value?
Same might object.
Same over, right?
JavaScript object.
Yeah. So it will print the same thing. So now if I do, let's say mart open false. Now
It will update a value of open to false.
what will be the value here?
Updated.
Right. So mart also gets updated, right? It will be basically show false. Open equals to false. You know? So I printed this. So it's basically updated again the original value also. So non-primitive are basically referenced. The data is a reference data. Okay? So it exactly works same in a function also. Right. So let's see if I have a function. Okay. I'll just call it as a go shopping. Okay. And I'll just say, let's say call it as a gmart. Right. And I'll call the function go shopping and just pass the value mart2. Okay. And if I print the value here console.log, okay, and gmart. So the output will be so when I passed a variable, again I passed a variable as a parameter. So this time it is a which type of variable is this? It is non-primitive, right?
Yes.
Okay, non-primitive are pass the reference. All right. So in this case, what is happening? It does not pass the object. Okay? Does not pass this data. Right? It passes the reference to the data. Okay? So mart basically it is referencing here. So gmart is nothing but referencing to this value. Okay? This again is holding like a something like this, where gmart equals to your something like this, correct? Because both of them are objects, so this is again object. Okay, and objects are basically copy by. When I do this, it is a copy by reference, right? Okay, here it is a pass by reference because I'm passing into the function. So when is this? When in this case, if I print this, it will still print the same value. Okay, but if I do gmart dot let's say location Mumbai. Okay. All right. Okay. And I'll just say here not two. Okay. Let's just say 1, comma 2, comma and 3, comma. Now tell me the output. What do you think? What will be the value here? Will location get updated or not? So when you assign a pass non-primitive, it basically just copies the reference. You change variable anywhere, it will basically affect all of the variables which is the same reference. If I run this, so here it will print the value first with open false. Okay. Then the function is called with open false, and then it adds a new key. So first one when it prints, there won't be any location key because I already printed the value. Then the go shopping will be called, and here this reference is passed to mart2. Mart2 is here, right? Mart2 is referring to mart, so mart is here, right? Right. So basically, indirectly, mart2 is this. So mart2 is pointing to this. So again, so gmart is again referencing to mart2. Mart2 is referencing to this. So indirectly, gmart is referencing to this. Right. So when I make any changes to this, indirectly I'm making changes here. I'm adding value here. Okay. All right. So this will impact all the objects which are being non-primitive, which are copied. If I run this, you will see. Here I printed a gmart and here I printed mart, and you got the value here also in both the value, right? I hope this is clear. Any doubt? Can I have any question? No question? All right, good. All right, let me just do this. Mm, Now tell me, what do you think output should be?
Grocery in Mumbai.
What do you think the output should be here?
Key item.
Yeah. So
The
what is
item and location.
Okay, all right. So which value the Gmart has received here? Which value?
Items grocery.
Okay. So what is the type of that?
String.
Right? So Gmart will receive primitive. Okay, and primitive are
Pass by value.
pass the value, right? So basically I'm passing one of the value of the object, and that is a primitive, right? So here it will receive a grocery, right? And this is a string. This is a string. But what I did here, I did gmart.location also. And if I print this, what do you think? Will there be any error here? Because I'm adding dot to a string value.
No error.
Why?
It will become object.
So what will be the output of gmart then? Will it be object or string? Run this, see this. Item 1, we have printed here. Okay. Then go shopping, I pass the value groceries, items. Item value holds the primitive, that is a string. So groceries received here, and now I basically did gmart.location in Mumbai and then printed the gmart here. Okay. Line number 2, but it printed only groceries. Okay. And then again, here it printed the mart. So where this did go? Alright, so I told you, right? So in JavaScript, everything is as an object. So the moment you use dot in anywhere, JavaScript internally converts it into an object and assigns a key to it and assigns a value to it, right? And whenever this execution is ended, that object is ended, okay? And will always refer to its value. So that is why it is printing the grocery. But if I use this dot again here and location, now it will print me. Okay, okay. So basically strings are string you cannot add any key. Right? But it did not give you the error. Right? It did not give you the error. Okay? That means it is still functional, but it basically does not take the value. Okay. Now tell me if I pass this. Let's see. Start. Okay. Now tell me. Cart is primitive or non-primitive?
Non-primitive.
So here it received
Non-primitive.
non-primitive. So when it received non-primitive, then what will happen?
Pass by reference.
Pass by reference, right? But I did something like this. Will it update?
No.
Why?
Because array always consider his index as a numerical.
Right.
It will get added.
Let's just run this. You see this? This got added here and added here as well.
बट हम लोग उसको एक्सेस नहीं कर पाएंगे.
We can access it, na? We can access it. Here it is not accessible. Here you have to use card. Now I can access it. समझा ये वाला अपडेट क्यों हुआ ग्लोबल वेरिएबल? Why did it updated global variable? Why was this Gmart location key was added into the global variable?
Non-primitive.
Yeah, but which key Gmart is referring to?
Cart,
right? Because cart is an array. So when I do this mart2.cart, basically it is passing the reference to this. That means that location where this array is stored. So it received an array here, non-primitive an array. Right? And because array is also an object, so I can add the keys. Because it's a pure non-primitive, I can actually add the key. I can read the key. That is why it retained the value and stored the value.
And इसका length क्या आएगा सर? Length 3 ही
You want the length? What do you think the length will be?
3.
Sorry?
3.
Length will be not location, sorry. That. It will be 3. Array only takes the index value. When you do a length, it always takes the index value. Okay. So this is the difference between primitive and non-primitive. So what we did yesterday, right? This is the extension of that. Okay. So when we do a where a equals to 1 and then a equals to 1 and then if I do where b equals to a, so what really happens here? It copies the value from a to b, right? And if I change b, will it change a?
No, it will not change.
Will not change, right? Same happens with the function. Whenever you pass a parameter to a function which is a primitive, right? So even if you change the value inside a function, it will not change the value outside of the function. I hope this is clear. This is what we did. This is what we did here. We defined a variable here. We defined a variable here and the variable is passed as a parameter. I'll just remove this too. So it is simplified. So it is defined we defined a variable and that variable is passed. That variable is primitive, right? So it receives the primitive and it receives the copy. And I updated the value of the variable, another variable, right? But it did not change the outside variable because it is a primitive value. Okay? It exactly works like this one. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. In case of non-primitive, we define a mart as an object, and there is a keys. Again, key has a primitive and non-primitive, and then I did a where mart2 equals to mart. So mart2 basically copied the reference of entire object, right? So both are basically pointing to the same thing. Okay. Now, when I updated the key in mart2, it also updates the key in mart1 because both are references, right? So when we basically assign a variable which is a non-primitive, it's basically a kind of a reference. Both are reference to each other. Right? Same applies to function as well. So whenever I pass something, whenever I pass a non-primitive a function, it also receives the it basically indirectly what it is doing. Let's say this is the params, and here it is doing where gmod equals to params, right? Because params is a pass by reference, right? So param is referencing to this, this is referencing to this. So gmod receives this index, this pointer, right? So whenever I add something in this object, right, it also updates here. The moment it also updates here, it also updates in Mark2. Right? So that is why I was able to see this also. I hope this is clear.
Yes.
Anyone have any doubt?
अगर हम किसी की का
हाँ
वैल्यू भी चेंज करते हैं तो क्या वो भी अपडेट हो जाता है क्या?
हाँ, so key का value if it is primitive, okay, if I pass something like checkout, right? Correct. So what I am passing here?
Primitive value.
Primitive, right? Basically, I am reading the value. Right? Here, what really did, where checkout equals to this, right? So what the checkout will hold? One, right? And one is type of
primitive value.
Primitive, right? It is a category of primitive, right? So I'm passing a primitive value. When I pass a primitive value, it is a copy value, right? So if I change something inside, it will not affect outside. Okay? But if I do this, right? So what is the card?
Card is an array non-primitive.
Non-primitive, right? So basically, when it is non-primitive holding, this card is also pointing the same value, same location. Right? Let me just show you image from yesterday. So whenever you have anything which is non-primitive, this one, yeah. So you see, whenever this is a non-primitive variable, and whenever one of the item holds non-primitive, right? So it also again points to another location. Okay, this is the heap kind of heap, another location, right? Same way, when you copy it, I hope it is there here. So whenever you copy it, right, it keep on referencing it. I copied what I did. I mean, I copied. So basically, node was pointing to the node was a express was a child of node, sub-object of node, and then loopback was a child of express, and this one some value of loopback. But then I copied the PHP into the loop, right? So then PHP started pointing to the loopback. So if I do any changes in PHP dot loopback, it will also affect this. Right? So this is the kind of a common location in non-primitive. Exactly same thing happens here. The cart is pointing to this. All right. So if I do any changes to the cart, it will also impact this. If I do this, let's say cart. If I add value 4, 5, let's say 4. Now say this. Check out. Say this. What I did, I basically added a one value into the card, right? This card variable, because card is a non-primitive, it added a fourth index with a value. Because this variable is pointing to this, so it will update in the main also. Where is that? Did I print it? Now if I run this, you'll see this here. You see another value is added. If I do this as the index 3, the value is added here. Do you see this? समझाइए?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So this is pretty much what I wanted to cover. This was the extension of yesterday's session. So yesterday, basically, we copied two variables, one variable into another, and one was a primitive, one was a non-primitive. Today, exactly, we did the same, but instead of that, uh, 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 I basically pass the variable to a function. Okay, and that function basically receives that variable. If it is a primitive type, it receives a copy. If it is a non-primitive type, it receives a reference. Right. So if it is a primitive and if I change the value, the changes only is limited to the function itself, within the function itself. But it is a non-primitive, then even if I change the value of key of the non-primitive, right? It will also impact the global variable, right? So whenever we work in JavaScript, right? So whenever we pass an object in Java, object or non-primitive as in the function, we have to make sure that the object does not change the global variable. Okay. So to do that, basically what we do, we will create another variable and we'll kind of do something like this. Something like this. Okay. We will say param.items. This will create a copy of this will create capacity. Check out. Okay, this is check out. This is okay. This will create a copy of those values, all the primitive values. Okay. And the moment I use this again, cart dot params. All right. Params dot cart. All right. All of these are kind of a local to this Gmart now. All right. So even if I change Gmart here now, all right, it will not affect the outside wala outside object. Right, it did not affect the outside object. Let me just comment this out. So, location Mumbai. See this. In this object, there is a location key added Mumbai. Okay, but in the main object, there is no location key. Old wala, there is a previous one. Okay. So there was a first printed, then there was a function called, then there was a second console. The second console is here. Right? So I created a local copy and individually I basically copied all the non-primitive values. Okay? But non-primitive is still, but because cart is non-primitive, if I add something in non-primitive, it will still affect the old one. So if I do something like this, the cart, okay, just do code. Okay. The print is, let's see this. In the object, here the location key is added, all right, and it is printing. All the keys are printed and another value key is added, all right, in fourth position. But that value, that location key is not added here, but the cart is updated because cart is non-primitive, all right. So this way we have to be very careful whenever we are passing any parameters to a JavaScript function. We have to be sure that it is a copy. Even it is an object, it is a copy. So there is a way to do it. I will be covering later. All right. I just wanted to show you that. So this is the mistake most of the JavaScript developer make. So whenever they pass any variable in function, and they change the variable, some key of the variable, it also impacts the variable which is outside of the function, and it gives an unexpected result. And this is where it frustrates a lot of developer, because they don't really understand what is really happening, why the value is this. So this is the reason, because it is always a pass by reference. Because it is always a pass by reference. All right. Okay. Any question? I think I'm done for today.
So, sir, ये advantage है कि disadvantage है?
I would say this is a disadvantage.
तो इसके लिए ये 6 में फिर इसको improve किया गया है ना?
Sorry?
ये 6 में शायद इसको improve किया गया है.
हाँ, correct. Yes. I will say kind of this was a badly designed again, right? And now cannot be changed. At least in ES5, so that was improved in ES6. Anyone has any question? आज का टॉपिक बाउंस गया क्या?
नहीं सर,
हाँ?
नहीं समझा.